Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to add an extension on to 3.1 where we're going to focus on applications of solving quadratics, real life applications. So we're just going to work through two quick examples and that's it. So let's go ahead and jump in. So lots of things have a sort of parabolic shape in the real world. Throwing a basketball, throwing a lot of different things actually. And that idea of forming that arc, that arch, that parabolic shape can be applied in lots of different contexts. So we're just going to look at two here. When an object falls from an initial height, we'll call that h naught in feet. The relationship between the object's current height at any given moment and the time can be modeled by this function. H of t is equal to negative 16t squared plus h naught. So this is an established relationship. So as long as you know what the initial height is, you can write a function. So let's use this foundation to analyze problem number 11. You're on vacation with your family at the Grand Canyon. You're trying to stay in contact with your friends, but your cell phone reception is terrible. In frustration, you throw your iPhone over the cliff. I do not recommend that you actually do this. The relationship between the height of your falling iPhone and the time it has been falling has a parabolic form. You throw your iPhone from a height of 50 feet. So that piece of information right here, this is our h naught. So write a function that gives you the height of your iPhone after t seconds. So our goal here is to have a function. All we're really going to do is use this function up here and plug in that h naught is 50 feet. And that's it for part A. For part B, it says how long does it take for your phone to hit the ground? So if you think about this, it's starting at 50 feet and it's coming down to hit the ground, right? This is some parabolic shape. The vertex is somewhere. We're not sure where. We want to know when is the height y equal to 0. That's what we're trying to figure out. So we can just set our function equal to 0 and then we can solve. So 16t squared equals 50. So t squared is 50 over 16. And then to solve this, we can square root both sides. So t equals plus or minus the square root of 50 over 4. The square root of 16 is 4. The square root of 50 is going to simplify. It's going to simplify to be 5 root 2, right? 50 is the same thing as 25 times 2. So 5 root 2 over 4. And the only answer that actually makes sense in context of this problem is the positive answer. The negative answer doesn't make any sense at all because we can't talk about negative time. So it takes 5 root 2 over 4 seconds to reach the ground, or for my phone to reach the ground. Now, in a real world situation, we'd probably grab a calculator and figure out what 5 times the square root of 2 over 4 is as a decimal. But that's not really the point here. So feel free to do that on your own. We're going to move through our second example. All right, number 12, your family takes a hike to a higher point in the canyon. At 60 feet, so we have a new initial height, your hydro flask falls out of your backpack. You're really having a bad day with your supplies here. Your hydro flask falls out of your backpack and over the cliff. Write a function to model this situation. So now our function is going to be h of t is negative 16t squared plus our new height, or our new initial height, which is 60. And maybe let's pick a different letter since we used h on the last one. Let's call this g. How long does it take your hydro flask to hit the ground? So go ahead and pause the video and work through this one on your own and then unpause the video and see how you did. So again, we want to know when it hits the ground, so when the height of the function is 0. So that's going to give us 16t squared equals 60. And if we divide both sides by 16, and since I know how to square root 16, I'm actually not going to simplify my fraction just yet. I'm going to go ahead and take the square root of both sides. So t equals plus or minus the square root of 60 over 4. I'm going to simplify the square root of 60. I'm going to do it the other way this time, the upside down birthday cake method. 3 and 5. So this is going to be, I'm going to come down here. Positive version is the only version that makes sense. So 2 root 15 over 4. And this can simplify to be the square root of 15 over 2. So it takes square root 15 over 2 seconds for my hydro flask to reach the ground. So this was just a quick little extension and some more practice with word problems, which we can always use. Go ahead and write down any questions you have, and I look forward to supporting you on this. Thanks for listening.